Clinton spoke just weeks before she is expected to announce another run for president. John Heilemann is managing editor of Bloomberg Politics. He's also co-author of a pair of books about the last two presidential campaigns called Game Change and Double Down. Welcome.
Happy to be here.
So where does this leave Hillary Clinton? More questions, and what are the questions?
More questions, and I think she's not put this behind her. She's emboldened Republicans who are now going to be investigating her for months to come, on not just on Benghazi, but now apparently on these emails. And I think even for a lot of Democrats, there are still questions that are left unanswered. The questions around, these are not good headlines. I opted for convenience is not something that you want to hear from a Clinton, because it reinforces various bad narratives about her. And I destroyed 31,000 emails that no one will ever get to look at again. Again, it just raises a lot of questions. And they're uncomfortable, again, even for Democrats, not just Republicans.
And what was the decision, and who was involved in the decision, and what was the criteria for deleting?
Well, this is kind of the question. She claims that anything that was remotely related to government business, that the 30,000 of those emails she turned over to the State Department. The other 30,000, she says, were not related to government business at all. And none of us have any basis on which to judge that, other than basically what she's saying to us, which is, trust me, I'm Hillary Clinton. I'm in this for the right reasons. And again, it's not, I think, for some people, a satisfactory argument that she's the sole arbiter of that.
So how does she get past it, John? Can she get past it?
Well, she's obviously going to have a launch of her presidential campaign. There will be a lot of energy for it. There are a lot of Democrats who love her. She is still she will likely be coronated as the Democratic nominee. But I think the question for her going forward is, how does this play in a general election? And I think that is a much more diffuse, but there are a lot of people in the country who look back on the 1990s and say it was great era, peace and prosperity. We like Bill Clinton and everything, but boy, that was a contentious period. The Clintons constantly involved in a lot of melodrama, a lot of psychodrama. People are queasy about that, and people are kind of weary of it. There's been Clinton fatigue. That's been a concept we've talked about for a long time. This kind of thing just revives it, I think, for her going forward.
Presidential campaigns, successful ones, are about the future.
Yes.
And this, essentially, she's being sucked back into the past about a past controversy, and she hasn't even announced yet.
Yes, that's exactly right, Nora. And I think, Frank Bruni wrote about this in the New York Times today. That picture yesterday was a picture out of yesterday. It just called to mind. We're now having discussions again, incredibly, about the Rose Law Firm billing records and Whitewater and what are the parallels to previous Clinton scandals and pseudo-scandals. That's not the conversation you want to have if you're just launching a presidential campaign.
John Heilemann, great to have you here. Thank you so much.
Awesome to be here. Love you guys.
For the first time.
I know, it's so exciting.
I feel that too.
You're welcome back anytime.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be here tomorrow.